Hello and welcome to Dawn of Discussion with your host Guy and Ron. We are here. You can't see us right now. Wait, always got to make an entrance.
I don't know if I did it justice.
I don't think either of us did.
Oh,
Ah! Ugh.
God.
How are you doing this week?
Yeah, not too bad. Not
Yeah,
too bad. I hope you're doing okay.
yeah,
But
I'm doing well.
I will say something that I've noticed. So I saw recently that the Super Bowl just happened,
Yeah, okay.
and
We're getting straight
basically
into it. I
because
like it.
sorry, it's something I want to talk about because the Super Bowl is, as you may know in America, and I'm sure a lot of people know, is that it's
Yes,
this big event thing
it's
where
a
they
big
claim it's the
salad
biggest.
bowl.
Yeah,
People just put
exactly. Yeah.
their stuff in there and
Where
then
they claim it's the biggest sporting event of the world, and everyone kind of goes, "Yeah, but it's not really."
it's just a salad.
Yeah, exactly. But they had a crowd in the stadium. It's clear there were most of it was cardboard cutouts, which is just super funny to me
Okay.
of fans. But then they had some actual fans in the stadium watching the thing, and I think there was obviously some ruling, but you couldn't sit too close to people. Or, but even then, I'm thinking like I still wouldn't let people in the stadium. I
Yeah.
get it's a big event thing, but no,
I mean,
uh,
obviously, like when you do something like that, um, I mean, I'm guessing it was mostly just like person, carbon man, carbon man, carbon man, person, carbon man, carbon man, carbon man.
yeah, basically like that.
It's still not
Because like
ideal because if they have to go pee, then they still have to pass each other. But
yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, like, looking at other sporting events or sporting entertainment events, like for example, like with the WWE, they've done a really clever thing. So like they have all these like screens around the actual ring with fans who can Skype in basically and watch it live. But they're
yeah,
also looks like they're actually there, so they're part of a crowd, which I think is a nice touch.
yeah,
It's gone a lot better for them than it has for a lot of the football teams in England, like Manchester City, who wanted to have like their screens filled with their fans, and they had to duplicate some of the fans on the screen because not enough of them showed up
whoa,
for it.
that sounds like a low budget animation film.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't like that.
it's depressing for them, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
You know what they did? I think it was last season of America's Got Talent, where they basically just had like basically so it was the contestant on a stage, and then obviously in front of
yeah,
them are the judges who are properly spaced out, but there
yeah,
was no live audience behind the judges. Instead,
yeah.
what they did is they had the live audience on the screen behind the contestant, and they had them like in a big Zoom call. So it was like a bunch of squares of people just sitting there. And the one thing that it made me think of was that one episode from Black Mirror. The one with
Yeah,
like the futuristic like tantra, and it made me very uncomfortable. But apparently,
yeah,
with all of these Fremantle shows, that's exactly what they're going to be doing. So American Idol, and I think Britain's Got Talent as well. They're all going to
yeah,
be doing it like this, and I'm highly
yeah,
uncomfortable with that.
yeah. But I will say the funniest encounter out of all these people like on screens watching these events was in fact in the WWE show
Oh
where
no!
someone had noticed and pointed it out that one of the people had dressed up in a KKK outfit.
Oh no!
And I can just imagine the WWE execs are going,
See, because this is exactly what I was worried about with when I was watching America's Got Talent. It's basically like you watch these squares in the background, and the only thing I was really hoping for is like how Mandel sitting there like partially enjoying the performance as per usual, and he looks at this one square like over there, and there's this guy just sitting like you know or completely naked, and still
just in view, completely
yeah.
naked. Or someone somehow figures out a way to stream in like an
I
OnlyFans
just scared
live
someone
show.
away.
It's probably Tammy. But because like I can now just imagine like someone streaming like an OnlyFans thing on one of those at some point and just them streaming it, and you're just going, oh no.
Immediately just screen share it to your Zoom call on America's Got Talent. Guess what talent
Yeah.
I have?
Oh god. Oh, but on a sort of random note there about the Super Bowl and like
Yeah,
stuff
go
they
ahead.
do with it with new trailers. What is it? 16th of next month. Falcon and the Winter Soldier finally comes out.
19th, and I saw that.
19th.
It looks
Yeah,
fucking great.
it does look super fucking good. It's good to see that Baron Zemo is returning as the villain.
Yeah.
Like, because that's been my only pet peeve from Marvel, that they kill off pretty much every single fucking villain, so they can't come back really.
Yeah, but they didn't let him kill himself off.
Yeah, which was good.
So yeah, that's good. So now he's coming back with a vengeance. Same guy as in Civil War.
Yep.
Classic costume. Well, slightly more classic.
Yeah.
So
Slightly
should
more
be good.
true to its own. Very different origin though. Very different origin.
Oh, of course, because in the comics he wasn't Sokovian to begin with.
Yeah, he was part of Hydra.
But I think this is again like the MCU taking particular liberties.
Yeah, of course, which fair enough. And every comic book any interpretation of these characters is always going to be like that.
Yeah, but now they're all coming back together.
Yeah,
becoming one universe.
Yeah.
Spoilers for WandaVision, but whatever. Like, if you haven't seen it at this point, there's a lot of this going on.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's happening. A lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie. I had the dumbest idea for a crossover recently.
Oh, go for it.
Because as I was watching the trailer for was it Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Kong? Whatever it is.
Whatever it is,
I
they're
was
fighting
watching
each
it
other.
and I was just sitting there, and then I remembered that the Warner Brothers logo came up, and I thought, Warner Brothers.
Oh,
Superman versus Godzilla. Oh, it's just like Superman versus Godzilla.
That's an animation film waiting to happen, and it's probably going to be pretty decent.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We've already had Batman and Ninja Turtles.
Well, that's the thing. I started sitting there and thinking like of all the really cool crossovers just between like stuff that doesn't make sense, because people are like, oh, Avengers and Justice League crossovers. Like, yeah, but that's predictable. No one sees Godzilla versus Superman coming. No one sees that shit.
No.
And I was like, okay,
except for these
let
big brains.
Let me throw a few of these at you. So we've got Godzilla versus Superman.
Oh.
Tomb Raider and Wonder Woman. Maybe.
Tomb Raider's Wonder Brothers?
No, but I'm just like going with cool crossovers that I think would be kind of awesome to see.
Maybe
because I could see that like being like to do with like a tomb to an ancient god of some description, or Olympian to some degree, or an artifact, in which Ares is also after.
I think Tomb Raider would be probably slightly more interesting to like crossover with something like Uncharted.
Yeah, of course, but once again, I'm going with the really out there ideas. I'm not going with Avengers and Justice League. The ones that
like even the out there ideas, like they could still like be a bit questionable.
Yeah, of course.
So maybe there might be alternatives out there that might just.
If that's how you're feeling about that one, next one, Flash and Sonic.
I'm down for that. I can see that work. Speaking of Sonic, I don't want to destroy your train of thought, but Sonic, did you see?
No, what?
The teaser. They're making another one. They're making another one, and it's gonna have Tails.
Here's the thing: I actually watched the Sonic movie.
I haven't. Is it good?
And I really liked it. It's actually, I think it's a pretty underrated. I don't think it's great, but I actually watched it and thought, this isn't bad. It's actually decent. Like it's fun. It's enjoyable, and it doesn't take itself seriously in any way, which I really thought worked really well for it. I think films like where you're talking about a fucking blue hedgehog running super fast can't really afford to take itself seriously, and it didn't, which I thought was really good.
That's good.
And Jim Carrey is just great in whatever he's in, so he was great in that.
It's true. So yeah, I'll probably give it a watch at some point. I've completely missed it for some reason.
I would, because I think it's actually a decent enough film.
Fair enough.
But
yeah, this one might have Tails in it, because the 2 has little Tails hanging out it.
Yeah, well, Tails, I'm gonna spoil it slightly. He shows up in an after credit scene in Sonic.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go.
I have nothing.
Now,
See, I didn't know that was gonna happen because I had no prior knowledge to base it off of.
yeah, there you go. Now it's after a credits anyway. To be fair, so who knows if you would have stuck around to that for that part.
No, I always skip the credits to get there. I'm
Fair enough.
kidding. I
Fair enough.
don't. I don't. Well, we all got to support the people who make these films in these troubling times
Exactly. Yeah.
by
Trying to think of.
not learning their names, except if they're really funny. Actually, no, genuinely. Oh, there was a show that I was watching at work at some point. Oh fuck, what was the show again? I don't
Sorry.
remember which. I think it was Summer of Rockets, which is a BBC show. And
Never
like
heard
at
of it.
the end, like I was watching the credits because we have to for quality control. The prop master was named Ray Holt, and I was like, "My God, prop master Ray Holt, that is fantastic."
Like Raymond Holt.
Yes, and all I could picture
This
now is Raymond Holt being a
prop.
fucking prop master.
This prop is exquisite, and it will fit in your film perfectly.
So you're saying you want to borrow this gun? I don't think you have what it takes to borrow this gun. This gun has to be taken care of. It has to be cleaned properly, and it has to be given to me in a state better than I've given it to you.
That works too perfectly now.
But like, I mean, I wish I could show examples, but unfortunately, my preview screen that I always have is out of commission for, until I
That's
fix it. But don't you love it when like you do decide to just watch the credits of something,
yeah,
and
you get
the
the
names that come up are just brilliant.
yeah. I wonder sometimes if they actually do make up the names of the people just to see if someone will point it out, like on the internet, like, they actually watched the credits.
Well, they have
Part
to,
of me
right?
feels like that has to be a thing.
Let me
But
find some.
while you're doing that, on a random note, going back to sort of the crossovers, Aquaman and SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be honest. We've all
Yeah.
thought of that one at some point.
I mean,
What were the two?
I mean,
What were
Mermaid
the
Man,
parody
right?
versions of them in SpongeBob?
Was
There was an Aquaman and Aqualad. What was
was it
Barnacle
what
Boy and
was Mermaid Man? I think.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy? I think it was. Yeah,
Yes.
it's weird
Who
that we know
the
it.
younger versions of those characters were also voiced by Adam West and Burt Ward.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
if anyone ever says that SpongeBob is not a clever show, you're wrong.
Yeah. But, well,
Okay, so I got to a wrong page that just goes like, what even is a child and animal wrangler?
Chow Wrangler. Yeehaw. Uh,
Oh, is this?
SpongeBob is not a clever show. We never said it was, Tammy. Never
Oh,
said it was.
hey, there's one for Bug's Life apparently. That says no animals were harmed during the filming of this motion picture. However, some species did become extinct during principal photography. And it goes, species northern horned barn owl, approximately 15. Cause of death: soundstage fire.
Wow.
Whoops. Striped red striped red henny tapir last pair. Cause of death: grip truck. I don't want to go into that one.
No.
I feel like
Have you just now found the ones where actual filmmakers or people have died in the making of the films and
no,
you're just
no.
reading it
I
out?
think this is a weird. I don't think this is real. Woolly
I
fettered
certainly hope
tree
so. Otherwise, you've
squirrel.
just found a very dark place of the
Oh no,
internet.
this is dark, dude. Woolly fettered tree squirrel, approximately 100. Cause of death: crew lunch. This I want them to explain. Like, did they eat the squirrels?
I
Did
don't.
the squirrels eat them? What happened?
Sorry. Another crossover idea for you. Casper meets the Ghostbusters.
That's gonna be a very short film. Hey guys! Oh!
You say that, but come on, there's always something. Hollywood can figure out how to stretch anything out just for the sake of stretching it out. If they can get
I
the
mean,
money, they'll
probably.
make it longer. You just seem
Oh my
enthralled now
god.
by all this.
So, there's this film called Carry On Abroad, and there's this credit called Technical Advisor. Nothing wrong with that. The fella working in that department appears to be of Asian descent, going by the name of Suntan Lochon. I don't think that's real.
No, no, it can't be.
What? There's one in Frozen as well. At the end, apparently,
Probably.
it says the views and opinions expressed by Kristoff in the film are that all men eat their own boogers are solely his own and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Walt Disney Company or the filmmakers. Neither the Walt Disney Company nor the filmmakers make any representation of the accuracy of such views and opinions. So Disney is not taking any sort of claims about men eating their own boogers.
No.
I mean,
Gesundheit.
tasty snack.
Here's another one for you. It might ruin it slightly. The
Yeah,
Grand
go on.
Tour meets Fast and Furious.
What again?
Grand Tour meets the Fast and Furious. So the whole time Vin Diesel's just driving his car, you just got James May sitting next to him going, "You shouldn't go that fast. It's bad for the engine." That to me would just be perfect. It's just three English blokes
Yeah. Vin
fucking
Diesel
around
just like a
with each
flip in his car. James May, oh cock.
And then at some point they're all like, "Look, we need to build an engine that will get us over the bridge that isn't finished yet." And just you see Jeremy Clarkson hammering the engine.
Yeah. Literally, at some point
I
comes
have
a pivotal scene where there's a drawbridge or something like that. You know, Tyrese Gibson goes like, "Oh, we're never gonna make that," and Jeremy Clarkson goes, "Sure we are. All we need is just a little bit more power."
Jeremy Clarkson would love to be in one of those films. You could just tell. You could just tell he would love to be in one of
Why
those films.
haven't they made a heist film yet with those dudes?
What, with the Grand Tour?
Yeah.
Ron, we need to get in touch with Amazon.
We need to talk to Amazon and just go like, look, these
We need to
ideas that you have with like all the shows that the Grand Tour is currently doing with not cars, we need to change that.
No,
We're gonna
we've
make
got
a
to-
very British Fast and Furious, and it's
Yeah.
gonna feature the blokes, right?
basically being themselves. Basically, and this is a great story. Amazon Prime has cut their funding, and in an attempt for them to get it back, they decide to rob a bank.
Yes, but they have to
And
do
they know
it
the perfect.
using cars.
Yes. Oh God. Oh, that's genius.
The insurance can't cover them. Is that part of the plot, or is that you saying that? And basically, Andrew Willman, who is the producer of the show, is basically masterminding the whole thing. And at some point, they go like, "Why don't you ever get involved in this?" And he just goes like, I just tell you what to do. I just sit here, give you the tasks, and then you guys go off.
And you
do it.
Be entertaining for an hour or two, and then we've got, a show.
Yeah. And then, Amazon pays us eventually, and then I take the money, take a little bit off of that, and then give that to you.
Oh,
I'm not
God.
gonna make these kind of claims because I don't actually know how it works in the real world.
What was I just thinking? I was thinking of so many other stupid crossover ideas that would just be so funny.
We're gonna call it the big, the small, and the slow. Amazon Prime original. Twitch Prime original. It's going to be live.
Oh God, that just
the whole thing is going to be a 4-hour live stream where they literally just have GoPros mounted in the cars, and they have to make the cars be on the budget.
Yeah, exactly. And then they
Because
have to
obviously
kick
they
them
don't
out.
have money. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and they get to kick them out afterwards. Oh my fucking god, this is just too good of an idea.
And then Clarkson turns around and he goes, "Good news, James. I have parked a V12 in my Fiat Punto."
And then James May go, "That's good. But as you can see, viewers, I have done this properly." And he just
Yeah,
shows everyone the most mundane
yeah.
possible car.
He goes,
And then
"Good
Richard
news,
Hammond,
everyone. I've got the Dacia Sandero."
yes, he's got the Dacia Sender. And then Richard Hammond just
Finally.
shows up in the most American thing possible. It either
Yeah,
has to be a
exactly.
pickup truck, a muscle car, or a monster truck. Has to be one of those three.
God damn it, Hammond, you've gone over budget.
Well, yes, a little, but still, like, look at the flames. We
Look
just
at the
we do it.
flames. Look at the
They make
flames.
it.
They'll make the car go faster.
Oh god, this is too good of an idea.
You guys need an overlay that makes your videos bigger, because right now you are both so small, so dark, it's hard to see. Well, fuck
Thank you
it.
for your criticism.
We're changing it live. Let's make this like that. Actually, that's not quite live. Let me go out of studio mode so you can see what I'm doing live as it's happening. It's yep, there we go. And then let's center screen. No, not quite center like I wanted. No. It has to be centered horizontally. And then we go up. Right? Now I'm not a graphic designer, but I do think this is a hell of a job. Yeah? So now we're so well zoomed in that I can see that I'm actually out of focus. God damn it. Thanks for your tips, Tammy. No, okay, I'm kidding. We appreciate them. Ooh, nope, that's way worse.
We're professionals, we swear.
Nope, that's still worse. That is I don't think I'm gonna get this. Fuck, wait. Oh wait, there's this neat trick, right? Where you zoom in all the way, yeah? So now, yeah? You focus up, right? And then you zoom out again.
Yep.
And now it's,
Focused. Yep. There you go.
I mean, is it? Oh, it might be just low
It
quality.
looks. That's the issue. Discord, the quality for it is a lot better on there, so it looks in focus. But on, I think the issue is on YouTube. It just looks pixelated, which.
Yeah, to be fair, it looks pixelated on my screen here. I'm not even watching on YouTube because why would I?
Oh, you mean
Why would I watch things?
what door? Tell me this door.
Actually, that's
So
a
that's a
point.
window,
Now that we can see the door, now there's an obsession with the door now.
or what? The one like uh, back there.
You're pointing at that one when she said it, so yeah, that's the one. The one that you're pointing
This
at
one.
right now.
That's a closet.
Hmm.
Sorry to have disappointed you.
So
Are
I
you
don't
gonna
know.
make one of the jokes?
No, all the jokes that I have are too straightforward, so I don't really want to. They're too easy, and I feel like it
Oh,
would be offensive considering it's almost Valentine's Day, and I don't want to offend
I'm
any.
seeing. Sorry, she said she wants to know what both is. That's a window.
Well, great, now we know. Oh, this is exciting. Oh, look, it's glass. And a reflection of what appears to be your bed.
And a light.
And the light. Well, there you go. This is how you light a scene, ladies and gentlemen, is just open your window. Well, sill thing.
Trying to get it so that's left.
Well.
We'll leave it at that.
Apparently now they
Anyway,
can find you completely based on the fact that you have a window. Alright, we're looking for Guy. Just look for the one building in this
it has a
area
window.
that has a window. Sir, we're surrounded. Shoot.
Damn. But going back to other stupid crossover
Yeah, let's
ideas,
just go for crossover ideas. We're here
because
now.
yeah, we're here now, and there's just so many we can do. And just you should throw in whatever ones you could think of. But what was I just
Oh,
thought of one?
absolutely.
I just thought of one. What was it? Mission Impossible and Bond.
It's a
Um,
straightforward one, but I
yeah,
think it would be great if they are initially working against each other.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You
maybe that
once
would work.
again, we'll make it so like Bond is being tasked to hunt down Ethan Hunt, who once again has been disemboweled for like the billionth time because every
Yeah,
single Mission Impossible film seems to start that way now.
pretty
Um,
much. It's like, look, we know that you've cleared your name like 6 times now, but still,
we know we keep getting it wrong with you, but we're convinced this time that we're right, that you are the backup. But yeah,
ooh,
um,
interesting. Blackadder and Glorious Bastards. That's a recipe for disaster.
Blackadder and Inglorious.
I'd
Yeah,
love to see it, but I can see it go so wrong.
that's the thing. That's one of those things where they would have to do it really fucking well.
I think Blackadder would vomit a lot.
Yeah, probably. Well, maybe not him, but one of the other ones. Baldric would probably keep his stomach weirdly well.
Hmm.
But what other crossover ideas? I've been trying to think of one for who was it? What film was it? Fuck. Oh, Terminator.
Terminator
So
and if you say RoboCop, that already exists,
it does, which is why I wouldn't say it.
which is why there
Plus,
needs to be a film of it.
I'm thinking of
Yeah.
two things. I'm thinking of two different ideas for the Terminator one. Is that either one, it would have to do with another time traveling thing, so something weirdly like Back to the Future, but it wouldn't be Back to the Future; it'd be something else. But
Marty McFly, you have been targeted for termination.
ah, jeez, Doc, Marty, the Terminators.
I see there's a couple of Inspector Cloth ones. I like where this is going. Cloth and Luther, I think, is just going to be Luther in Inspector Cloth's world.
Yeah,
So instead of just being kind of a strange kind of don't know if it, you know, a BBC drama that is a BBC and a drama for all intents and purposes, but still kind
yeah.
of good, it just becomes silly. Law and Order, however,
Dun dun.
I'd like to see like a touch of cloth version of Law and Order where nothing is fucking serious, especially if it's SVU. Sir,
Uh,
there's a call from this girl. She claims that she's been raped, sir.
but can't remember what the first one was. Oh, and sorry, another idea with Terminator One, and it's just solely because I think it's for the Arnold Schwarzenegger aspect of it,
Mm.
Predator and Terminator.
Literally, as soon as Dutch dies.
The Terminator shows up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the Predator's come back for vengeance. It kills Dutch, and then all of a sudden, just it looks behind it, and just another a T-800 Arnold Schwarzenegger appears, and the Predator is holding Dutch, just going.
You one uglier motherfucker.
It's super fucking confused. Like, wait, there's two of these fuckers now. Uh, no, what was it? And this is more just a heartwarming idea.
Okay.
The Iron Giant and Superman,
Yeah, I'd love that.
because I
That'd be
think that
sweet.
would be just a super cute and adorable, heartwarming one. Considering the Iron Giant has this whole "I'm Superman" moment, I just think
Yeah,
that would be
that'd be
really
pretty
cute.
sweet.
It'd be cute. I want them to make an Iron Giant live action film, or alternatively, I want Hollywood to hire me so I could make it.
I mean, I think there's a reboot in talks for Iron Giant, but I'm
It's
just not
been
really
going
feeling
for
it.
a while. It's been going for a while.
I'm just not feeling it because the animation was great as it was, and I think in the shape that it is, it's practically timeless.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, I would agree. But I
But
think
then
it's the
that doesn't
thing
mean anything apparently.
because that's the thing. Like
Needle
there
in
are,
Jaws.
to be fair, the shark. To be fair, that kind of has already happened because the shark in Jaws is named Bruce after the actual shark from Jaws, which they actually called the animatronic Bruce.
Yeah,
So it's kind of already happened, and they've already used the music, I think, at one point as well. Then Finding Nemo for a gag.
yeah. Crossover
How
between the Room and anything else. Just doesn't matter what. Just anything.
Tommy Wiseau is the Joker after hitting Harley Quinn. I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. Oh, hi, Batman.
Oh, hey Joker, what's new with you?
Uh,
And then
I still
literally,
love
Batman tells him exactly how he's going to take him down. He goes, "What a
Oh, funny
story, Batman!"
story. Did you ever see that fucking trailer for If Tommy Wiseau played Batman?
That wasn't even a trailer. That was like a full thing. Oh wait,
Uh,
no, that was a trailer for when he plays Batman. There was a full like scene with College Humor, I think, where he played Joker.
oh, that's true. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was.
Yeah, I see. We skipped one. Powerpuff Girls and
Yeah,
X-Men. Yeah,
yeah, come on.
yeah.
Fair. Yeah. Or, to be honest, Powerpuff Girls in any of them.
Teen Titans already happened. It was a disaster.
Yeah, it was.
Why did
Oh,
I watch?
why did you watch it? Uh,
I was curious and I shouldn't have been.
oh,
But
what about fucking something like Dexter's Lab and something else?
Dexter's Lab and
To be fair, if we're talking about like animated kid shows, Dexter's Lab, and Powerpuff Girls would be a pretty good one, I think.
it fits.
It fits very
It'd
well.
be surprising to me if they hadn't done that yet.
Yeah.
Ooh, I feel sick. Uh,
Wait, whoa, sorry. Pause. They're making a live action Powerpuff Girls
oh,
and
of course they are, because it's a money making IP.
Dexter. I don't know how I feel about these two. Because and it's going to be okay. So it's gonna be like the Power Rangers remake in the film.
It's like any remake these days. Anything that they remake
Yeah.
into a live action these days has to be edgy because they think that's the shit that people buy.
Yeah.
Which they do!
Most they do, yeah. To be fair,
Because
we
they're
can't really
marketing slaves. The
because
capitalist slaves, and we have to break their shackles! I mean, sorry.
let's be honest, we also still can't
What's
look
in
weird.
this? I mean, it's red, so, you know.
There
She'll
you
go
go.
for Pepsi, I think.
Oh, and they will be in their 20. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not surprised. With Doctor.
See, it doesn't.
Oh, I have to pause now. Tell me, is this an actual thing or are you just fucking with us?
For the first time ever, we're going to see Powerpuff Girls fuck. I don't want this.
Oh, it's an actual thing. Okay.
Because
Well,
it's
I
going to
I
be
expect you to
cringy.
send
It's
me a
going to
link
be
to the
cringy.
I want you to send me a link, Tammy, to wherever you learned this from on WhatsApp because I need to read up on this because this just sounds.
But it's going to be cringy either way because none of
No,
this shit
absolutely.
works.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're going to make a live action One Punch Man. And I'll tell you what, it's not gonna work.
But
Don't tell me they're planning this.
what? One Punch Man live action?
Yeah.
Probably at some point. I mean, they're now making a live action Mortal Kombat film again for like a third time or something. I think
I
that's
don't
the thing with Hollywood, man. You have to remember, if it's a thing, they will eventually find a way to make it
if they
into a
can
movie.
make money, then
They
they
won't,
will
Tammy.
yeah.
They won't. Because they even tried making a Dragon Ball Z live action film, I think, at one point, where he was like in high school or something in America, and it was just apparently so terrible.
Did they realize he's not a
Yeah, but Tammy, wouldn't
he's
One
not live
Punch Man
action
also
material?
be amazing hot garbage, just like the Mortal Kombat film?
I mean, it
Let's
would
be
be
honest.
garbage. That's why This is why. No, wait. Dragon Ball Z was racist.
The film, I think she means.
Why? Is this a what? Anyway.
I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but now I'm just getting like the idea of any like really stupid, like over the top stupid thing in anime or manga. And now I'm just for some reason getting the image. I'm not sure if you've heard of the show, something called The Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh, I've heard of it.
And like they're all so inappropriately dressed. And now all I can imagine is them turning that into a fucking live action some way. Which wouldn't surprise me in all honesty. Fair, most things in anime and manga are inappropriately dressed. Oh, I'm trying to think. Oh, fuck. What?
I'm still confused as to. I mean, I haven't seen it, but how is the Dragon Ball Z film racist? I really want to know now. I want to make fun of the incompetence of studio execs who don't see this kind of thing in time.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie though. There are some films I think that probably could do with remakes. I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned it, but I kind of want to see them do a remake of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Sure, but they'll do that pretty much any time. I mean,
Yeah,
Aquaman is basically a remake of that.
it's not though. It's
It's
really not.
not. It's not. But it. Oh, they made Goku white.
Yeah.
I mean,
What did you not understand when I said it's set in America in their high
okay. Well,
school kid?
here's the problem, right? Is it? I think we've talked about this in the past before, but is that technically racist? Because
No.
we've discussed before that there's the constant thing in Hollywood where they gender swap or they race swap a couple of characters out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Whitewashing, yeah, whitewashing is a thing. But like the problem
Yeah.
is I personally don't like it because it's a bit cringy and like often it doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
But
But
like
occasionally it can work well, but occasionally. But I think there are very
occasionally,
few.
yeah. But like at the same
But
time, it's like well, I don't know. At some point, you really gonna ask yourself like,
because here's the thing,
uh,
I'm gonna point this out, and Tammy's gonna start booing me and hating me. The Aquaman film was technically racist because in the comics he's not a Samoan dude. He's a white blonde man. He's Aryan as they fucking come. He isn't Jason Momoa in the comics. So technically, the Aquaman film is racist with this train of thinking that she
well,
has put.
yeah, no, but
It's
it's
not.
it's a bit of a double standard, isn't it? Because in some cases, when we gender swap or race swap someone from someone who is white to anything that isn't white, then we tend to kind of celebrate that in a weird way.
Yeah,
But
but if it's the
whitewashing
reverse,
is wrong somehow.
yeah,
In my humble opinion, both are kind of cringy. I'm not gonna say
yeah.
both are wrong. I'm gonna say both are cringy.
Weirdly, I have less of a problem for if they change the ethnicity of someone than the gender. It's
Yeah.
a weird bug of mine because I think if it's specifically it's based on something. So, for example, if they made a new Flash film, but it was like, oh, it's not Barry Allen, it's Beth Allen or something like that. I'm thinking, oh, really? That feels
Yeah.
a bit. There are plenty of other great female superheroes. Why does the Flash all of a sudden? Why does Barry Allen have to be a woman?
Yeah.
He worked fine as he was.
And I mean, they
Yeah,
kind of the thing is with big characters, especially, like it doesn't work.
yeah, it doesn't work when they're known and have a like that's the thing when because when they did a version of a black Superman, but he wasn't Kal-El, and that like he was like a son of Zod or something. So I think everyone
Sure.
was like, okay, whatever. It's not super.
Well,
It's
the
not
current
technically,
Batman in the comics is black.
but it's not Bruce
It's
Wayne.
not Bruce Wayne. It's Luke Fox, which is
Yeah,
fine. And Bruce Wayne is still active as something.
yeah,
Idris Elba is Black Superman. He said so himself. Um, that aside.
yeah.
Um,
But No, I agree with Tammy. I have an issue with them not coming out with new stuff because I think, to be fair, in a weird way, because Warner Brothers, not Warner, DC and Marvel have, as we've discussed, now it's kind of going back into this route of like
Sure.
talking about the new stuff and what they've been doing. But when they've made new characters, like with the female Iron Man and Kate Bishop and whatever, it's not really hit the marker particularly well. Like also with Miss Marvel with Camilla Khan.
Yeah,
Whereas I
it's
think with
missed my mark
I think
completely.
yeah, I think DC has done slightly better because they've introduced people like Jessica Cruz, who's the first female Green Lantern who's also Latino. But I think that the great best way I've ever put this to anyone is when they released all the trailers for like Falcon, the Winter Soldier, for WandaVision, for Loki. It was like, oh, in Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's like them trying to figure out who is the next Captain America, or how can they cope in a world now where he's not there and having to
Yeah.
take on that mantle. With WandaVision, it's about grief and her dealing with it and warping reality. And as for Loki, who knows? Apparently, he's working for this weird organization, but it's Loki. We all know who he is, and that he's going to
Mm.
get up to some shenanigans. But then it's like, oh, here's a little preview of Miss Marvel. She's a Pakistani girl who lives in New Jersey and Muslim. What's the story though? No, that's it. That's all we've got. So you've not got any story beats or any tagline. You've got
Yeah.
character traits to give me. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. What about her flaws? Well, we haven't thought of those yet. That's fucking fantastic. Sure, they actually probably say, yeah, being a Pakistani girl who's Muslim in New Jersey is a flaw because no one accepts her. It's like, but you
Yeah,
do. So
yeah, I feel
but
like
you do.
but I feel like that's antiquated though, because people are like, I'm not accepted in society. You aren't, to an extent. I think
Yeah,
most people won't have a problem with you, but because most people don't particularly care about who you are.
I'm gonna just
Um,
ignore them.
so Tommy
Sorry.
has now said twice. Wouldn't it be better for them to just create new heroes who take over from the old guys, like a new super person taking over Superman, etc., etc.? No,
Yeah.
not really.
Uh,
I'd argue no.
I think what wouldn't it be better if I create new hero
They
for
can
movies?
certainly try,
I
but
think the thing is,
more often than not, when they try, it just doesn't seem to work because people will end up wanting the previous person to come back.
I
That's
think
why they end
also
up coming back every time.
it also depends on the organic nature of it. So going into it, just quickly going back to Jessica Cruz, the thing I liked about when they made her is the main push wasn't she's a Latino woman living in America. No, it was like, oh, she's a person who first got a power ring that fed off her fear,
Yeah,
but she then overcame it and became a Green Lantern. Like that is a description of a character that I liked. But
yeah,
going into new heroes, I think they have created some new heroes. They've not done
yeah.
particularly well with them,
Well, if you look at
and
the
they
last
have
10 years, there's been a couple of them that I really liked. Like Miles Morales, never had a problem. I actually really like his character, right?
yeah,
Because um, he essentially took the same kind of similar steps to Peter Parker.
yeah,
The race thing was just kind of a circumstantial thing more than anything. And
yeah.
I started getting a little bit more bothered by the fact when they started highlighting it, because now you're subscribing an entire character to the color of his race,
Not
the
and
color of his
not
skin or his race,
yeah,
but not the
and
color of
not
his race.
the
That makes no
not the
sense.
strength of his yeah,
Yeah,
and not the strength of his character.
and not just the main thing that he had to struggle with, that Peter Parker never had to struggle with, is that Peter Parker set the example, and Miles Morales had to like step up to that example.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Because
an interesting thing to look at, and also him just going like, well, I could never do what he does because he's great. Um, then there's the multiverse thing. There's Spider Women as well. They're cool because they're in their respective kind of universes and
yeah,
stuff like that.
because I think for think like the Spider-Man particularly has been done really well because they understood the Spider-Man essence is a mantle. It is
Yeah,
not Peter Parker. And they made a big point of that. And I think it's the same thing really with Batman. Batman is not Bruce Wayne, it is a mantle.
yeah. So it could be Dick
It's
Grayson. It could
a
be
great
it could be
it can
uh
be anyone.
yeah. Now,
Whereas, and same thing with Captain America, it's a
yeah,
mantle. It's been Bucky Barnes, it's been Falcon, it's been Steve Rogers, and I think that's the thing. Some of them are mantles, some of them are the people.
yeah,
Superman is Kal-El, it is Clark Kent. For the
yeah,
longest time, that has been the way it has been. To be fair, I think they have finally figured out a way to fix that, which was the introduction of John Kent, his son. Which
yeah,
now you look and go, yeah, he is the next Superman. He's going to be raised like Clark was, taught the same morals and everything. And yes, people point, but he's his son. Is it really? It's like yes, it's still
Yeah,
a mantle that he can
absolutely.
choose to take on. The
And
only
now,
one the only two I think who really don't have mantles that should be passed on are Thor and Wonder Woman, because I can't
yeah.
really think of people who logically can take those mantles. I know
Well,
they made a new Wonder Woman in the comics, but I don't.
so let me kind of add an addendum to this, right? Captain Marvel, originally male, right?
Yeah,
Eventually, I don't remember how he died. I think he died of like cancer or something like that. Something stupid like, Marvel did in like the 80s or something like that. But I think he did like hang out with this girl called Veronica Rambeau a lot, right? And she got her powers off of him. She became the second Captain Marvel. That's cool. I think
yeah,
that works.
yeah.
Then the Captain Marvel mantle has been taken over numerous times, from one person to another person to another person to eventually Carol Danvers, right? Which is fine. I don't have a problem with her getting her powers and like being a superhero in that sense and like being Captain Marvel and the Captain Marvel that everyone loves and knows. The problem is in the film they had the original Captain Marvel in it, and they
Mm,
made him a woman who also didn't have any powers and didn't do anything, and I
mm,
fucking hated that because that is literally pissing on the heritage of a character. And I know that the director said that they had like they made that decision with the best intents and everything. They had a whole like idea behind it, and the only thing that I can think of as someone who knows the story of like where these superheroes come from is to just go, hey, do you know what? You can't do that. I'm saying all these things, and you guys are fixated on this fucking cat.
I was wondering when you were.
Anyway, having said that, that's when I start having a problem with it, right? To give you an example of what I didn't have a problem with, but also a little bit, Doctor Strange, the film, um, we can agree was a really good film, right?
Mm,
There's two characters in there that didn't appear as they did in the comics,
mm.
and I think you remember the story of everyone being livid about um about the Ancient One,
Yeah,
being a white Celtic woman, and they were like, "Oh,
yeah.
this is whitewashing. You can't do that. The whole concept of all of this is racist."
Despite the fact that
And
it also
yeah,
had a lot of Asians
and
and a
then
black person, and
here's me just going like, Baron Mordo was Asian in the comics as well, and you have no problem with that going to a black man.
yeah,
I'm not saying that it's a problem that it did. I'm just saying it's really selective to say
it's
this is a
double
problem
standards.
and this is
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
right? And I will say the Ancient One is one of the biggest kind of changes to a character in a physical sense in the MCU or in any media ever that I absolutely do not have a problem with because they've
yeah,
executed it perfectly.
yeah. Agreed. Because yeah, I think that's the thing with certain ambiguous characters, like especially the ancient one, you can afford to just if you're a director and casting director and just say, oh, in the comics, it's no, 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 this character's ambiguous. It can be literally anyone. We just host auditions, right person walks through that door, that's going to be who it is, so long as they can pull it off. Because that's the thing,
Yeah,
like when someone's title is just the ancient one as a character, it's not like oh, it's Phil the ancient one.
yeah.
At that point, the gender and the ethnicity doesn't matter. It is the idea of that character and what they represent.
Hey, here's a question.
Mhm,
If you were to make a comic book movie, right?
mhm,
Pick like one character in that entire movie that
yeah.
you would gender slash race swap. Any comic book movie. Doesn't matter which character is in there. Doesn't matter if they don't necessarily fit. Just even if it's like a cameo or something like that.
That's the thing. I don't want to pick something that's kind of already been done before, like with Superman, because they've now made Jimmy Olsen black and things like Supergirl. So I don't want to pick something like that. I want to pick film that is.
No, like if you had to choose.
I've got a joke one, but I want to think of my serious one first.
Yeah, the joke one could be potentially seen as offensive, so we're
Oh, oh, it
treading.
absolutely will be.
I mean, I want to say we're treading thin ice here, but I think like we've kind of broken the ice already.
Might need some more time to think about that one because there's a lot. I think. Hmm. Any super.
Any. I know it's not an easy question.
Yeah. I'll give it some more thought. But just to get this joke out of the way, just for the sake of it, Wonder
Excuse
Woman.
me.
Wonder Woman. They
Uh-huh.
replaced Wonder Woman, so it's not Diana Prince, it's Dan Prince. Make Wonder Woman a man, so it's Wonder Man, and just see how people make it a black man as well, so they can't have any problems with it. You can't
Oh
make Wonder
boy.
Woman a man. It's like no, but he's black. If you don't like the fact that he's
Yeah.
black now, it's racism. Sorry, but
That is.
no,
Yeah. Okay.
no, that was completely a joke. Though I wouldn't change.
Hey, but I just felt. Oh boy. Idris Elba, Wonder Man.
Oh.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Now I've started to make myself wonder who would I gender swap, because it is a difficult question.
Yeah.
Really not an easy one.
No.
But I think
Like that's the
I
thing. A lot of the
might.
ones I can.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, because the issue is the ones I can think of. Like it's already kind of been done before for quite a few of them, and I'm struggling at the moment. But yeah, go on. What were you gonna
I'd like to
suggest?
know, because you know how like Marvel's What If is going to like explore Star Lord being T'Challa.
Yeah.
I think there's a more interesting idea.
Hmm.
What if it was still, well, Peter Quill, but maybe like Petra Quill. You know what I mean?
A girl
So
instead.
like a girl going through all that to
Yeah.
see how she turns out.
Yeah. Would her and Gamora have a thing, or would it be her and Drax?
Oh no,
You're
I'd rather
thinking
not.
about it now, aren't you?
I know I don't really want to look at Rorschach, but played like by a child. Yes, yes. Actually, Rorschach but black, but like the original Rorschach, not the new one.
Not the new one that actually is
Yeah,
black.
the
Then.
original one.
Okay, I will say this:
Good work.
in the Superman world, part of me would be intrigued by the idea of Lex Luthor being like a woman instead, Alexandra Luthor.
Sure.
I think that could be kind of interesting, and not just like put shit on it, but the whole idea of the idea of the extremist feminist essentially, because you have this
Good
like
work.
the iconic ideal of Superman, a white man doing what he thinks is right, but then her could be kind of like, oh, but what do you think is right, sort of thing. And I think that could be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And it'd be counterpointed by Lois Lane, who would still be there and would still just be Lois Lane. Thing is, because they actually did do that in Superman Year One. Lex Luthor died, and his sister took over, and she shaved her head.
Sure. Was it Lena and Luthor?
Lena Luthor, yeah, Lena
Yeah,
Luthor's
I
sister.
think I remember something like that.
Yeah,
She becomes bald.
but I mean, there's a lot obviously in the end because I think the thing is like with the Green Lantern, because I was initially thinking of Green Lanterns, but I thought you could literally just make it anything because
Yeah, exactly.
that's the Green Lantern Corps. They could be any of them.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm still waiting for a John Stewart Green Lantern film, because I think they could
Yeah,
do like a really good thing there, where basically like I'll be honest, his comic book origins escaped me a little bit. I do know that he was apparently a soldier in the army.
he was a Marine.
There's a lot of interesting things that you can do with that. With like
Yeah,
you know,
because
PTSD and stuff like that.
Green Lantern was a cat. I mean, to be fair, there is a Red Lantern that's a cat.
It's true, and he's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, he was. He does have a very sad origin. He has the saddest origin there is actually out of all the lanterns, as far as I'm concerned. But but what was it? Because my idea for the Green Lantern movie was to have Jessica Cruz the main protagonist, but John and Hal are already established, and they're
Yeah.
basically partners. Because I think there's a lot of scope for that to sort of show that they're already experienced, but there's still new human lanterns being recruited. I think there's a lot of scope for that.
Maybe.
But yeah. But what else? Just
Superman
hopping
replaced by a
anything.
dog. Already done. His name's Crypto.
Yeah.
Last
Tammy,
name Currency.
Tammy, a lot of these things you're already suggesting have already been things, I'm afraid.
Yeah, stop suggesting things that we've already seen. He
Like a
genuinely has a
Labrador.
dog. This fucking, like, sometimes I do wonder to myself, like, Krypton, right, when they say is basically very similar to Earth, but slightly more advanced.
Yeah.
I sometimes think to myself, like, no, Krypton is just Earth. Like, for all intents and purposes, just the same fucking thing. But, like, slightly technologically more advanced. Slightly.
Not only have they accomplished space travel, one of them figured out how to build a prison.
We've accomplished space travel.
One of them built a prison that is its own fucking dimension. The Phantom Zone.
I'm sure Elon Musk is very close to this.
No, for fuck's sake. Of course, Elon Musk. So, what, are we saying Elon Musk is Jor-El, and his son is going to be sent off from our planet to another planet to become Superman?
Oh, it's
Oh my
your birth
God.
name. Your birth name is, how the fuck do you pronounce this?
just Elon Musk. Then he figures out how to make the crystal thing as well, and then he sends him off, and just his son is there in this fortress. It's like, hello, my son. My name is Elon. And he's like, wow, that's actually such a cool, like, alien name. And this is your mother, Grimes. And he's like, well, you were doing well before, Dad, but that really, Grimes?
Wait, how do you pronounce his name again? I forget.
I think they actually had to change it because just the government was like, nah, that's child abuse. you can't do that to your boy.
See, I hate that. I hate that because I think it's unfair.
Okay, well, here's the
they
issue.
didn't change his name. They didn't change his name.
I think they were encouraged to, because here's the thing. You know how a lot of people decided to start naming their kids like Khaleesi after Daenerys Targaryen, which is actually one of her titles, the Khaleesi. Do you have a problem with that, though? Silence. Getting silent.
So it's Zasha 12.
Sorry, I just think that's child abuse. The kid has a name. His name is a number as well. Sorry, but surely this must strike. When your people were given numbers and nothing else. During the 40s. Surely this strikes a chord with you.
Oh no! What? Oh no!
See, this is where I'm going to put it. It's like you name your kid a number. That's where it's going.
Dude, my dad just told me he might be watching. Nah, I'm kidding. He might appreciate.
No, I don't think he would.
I don't know. I don't think he would. Man.
We just get a comment saying, "I'm watching, son. I'm not impressed with your friend."
I mean, they haven't tattooed his name to his fucking wrist, so I think we might be okay.
But no, could you just imagine though? Sorry, it's like he all of a sudden one day this all happens again. Like this new evil power rises up and people start going in there. It's like, what's your name? Zasha 12. It's like, ha! Your dad already did half our job for us. Yours just number 12 now. Just get in there.
Number 12. Oh.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I genuinely think that's child abuse. Naming your kid after something like that.
I don't know. I feel like people are getting a lot very creative these days.
Northwest.
Yes. The artist. The artist Northwest who paints these wonderful paintings.
When I have my first kid, I'm just gonna call him iPhone.
So,
fuck it. That's what I'm going with.
So I have a list here of
most absurd baby names.
Yeah. So Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow have a daughter called Apple.
Yeah, I saw that.
Uh,
Apple.
that's pretty bad.
I'm gonna name one of my
Um,
kids Castle.
Sylvester Stallone has a son called Sage Moonblood.
What? It's like a D&D character.
I don't know. He probably like popped out of the womb and was like, okay, well fill out this sheet here. You're going to be an elven
Oh,
druid.
so from now on, whenever like a child is
Yeah,
born, like when all the parents are filling out the documents, one of them is literally just a
yeah,
D&D character sheet with the stats
yeah.
already rolled
Literally,
there, but
like
like
Sly comes up to the baby and he goes, "Stop crying. You're going to be an elven druid because I'm an orc barbarian. I need a support class."
parents used to have kids to make a band. Now parents have kids to make a D&D group to play.
Uh oh, and who could forget Nicolas Cage's son, Kal-El.
Yeah,
Kal-El Cage, classic. Northwest
yeah,
in comparison is very normal.
it is. But the fact that she is both North and West is just that's what irks me.
Uh,
Her next Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. I think they can divorce now, but if they have another kid, they're going to call it like what
East,
Northeast, East, no
yeah,
South, because it has to be connected to West. So East West
sure.
could kind of work, but it would make sense with
Um,
Southeast.
so Duncan Jones, the director.
Yeah,
His birth name is Zowie Bowie. He changed his name later, but that was his birth name.
I kind of want to. I just for the sake of shits and giggles and just seeing if
Imagine interviewing him. It's got like, "What's up, Zowie Bowie?"
he'll be like, "Oh, please no, this is why I changed my name."
Um,
But I now, just for the sake of it, kind of want to change my kid's name just to see like if any of his teachers ever got it. Like I would have my kid named Spock and be like, Spock, Spock, live long and prosper.
well, I genuinely considered like if I ever have a son to call him Jesus, because you wouldn't give Jesus attention. It just be a generally, it just be a bad thing to do.
I will point this out. The issue is,
Oh, really?
Tammy, by naming
You failed Jesus? Interesting.
the
Are you sure that you failed Jesus? Because it sounds like you did, but not this Jesus.
sorry, Tammy's just suggested the idea of naming our kids after our D&D characters. The issue is my characters have relatively normal names. That
It's
could kind of work.
it's time for dinner, little grill.
Here's the thing, though. If you named one after Mark, would it be Mark 2.0 because that's what he was originally, or would it be
That
just
is his
Marcus?
original name. Yes, Mark II. I'm gonna make teachers go like, how the fuck do I pronounce this?
Mark.
Mackay, Mackay, Mickle. Why isn't Mark's
Here,
name just Michael? I don't even
here-
know.
here's the thing. In terms of my Thursday
That's
character,
Jesus
Aaron.
though.
Pardon?
She says technically Jesus is a common Hispanic name. It's Jesus.
It's
Um,
Jesus. Yeah, it's
so
not Jesus.
it's pronounced different.
Yeah.
So no, you pronounce it as Jesus because
Um.
I'm
So
not
quickly
I'm not wrong.
to answer Tammy's questions, Aaron is based on an Elven translator thing, but I think it'd actually have a nice ring to it, and you could make it work. Ursa is an actual name. It is an actual
Yeah,
Norse name. So it means she bear. So that's
it's
fine.
pretty good.
Yeah. Bjorn works, Hayden works, Catherine for
Hayden
Kathy
is a
works.
very
I teamed up
normal
with
name.
Emma's Diary and
Hayden's
Whoa,
Panthers
just
to
whoa,
share with
whoa,
you the
whoa,
sure, we don't
amazing
know
whoa,
anyone
news
named
whoa!
Panthers
Hayden, so
Nashi
it makes
range.
it work.
Someone started talking about baby names Sunday, and it's like, shut the fuck up, please. Ah, so, there was this
Sorry,
situation at some
Bubbles.
point. Bubbles.
That's
That's not a human name.
to be fair. If people ask me, oh no, people can't go. Did you name Bubbles after the Powerpuff Girl? No, I named it after my D&D fish character.
Bubbles Beresford Wiley.
My parents would disown me if I named a child. my my their first
Probably,
grandchild was named Bubbles.
probably. There's this name as well that looks unpronounceable, but is apparently pronounced as Albin, which is submitted as a protest against naming law in Sweden, which requires parents to submit a name for approval within 3 months of birth. The way it looks like it needs to be pronounced is perfect.
That's someone's fucking name.
It was rejected, so no, but it was submitted.
I'm not surprised.
Um,
I'm not surprised.
Census data shows at least 10 girls were named Darth in 1920. Ahead of the game.
Sorry, I've also just thought of one. Because I'm trying to think, Harbour can be a last name, right?
Sorry?
Harbour, it can be a last name,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, like David Harbour, the actor.
What if your last name was Harbour and you decide to name your daughter Pearl?
Yes! Oh no!
Just imagine your teacher calls on class Pearl Harbor.
No.
Stop.
There's a very good reason for a father not to call your daughter Pearl Harbor, and that is because the obvious, like, aggressive flirts that would come her way.
They're all Japanese as well. Just bombarding her with
Hey
quotation
girl,
marks. He's like,
you wanna make like 1940 and have me invade you?
"Well, bomb you." They didn't invade Pearl
Bomb you,
Harbor.
yeah. Bomb you with my and then they kind of cower off because they realize that if they make jokes like that, then they probably shouldn't be talking to girls at all.
I assume Tammy is saying I'm leaving now. This is painful in the remark of Pearl Harbor. I'm not sure. I think she might be lagging, but still.
She's probably still here. Let's be honest. According to the numbers, she hasn't
It's still
left.
her.
I have all
Yeah.
the numbers. I have power over the numbers. I can see all. The numbers are very disappointing.
Yeah.
They make me sad.
Wait.
Oh no. Bill Lear, founder of the Lear Jet Airplane Company, had a daughter and called her Shonda.
Okay.
Right? Besides the fact that Shonda in Yiddish means like a shame or like a bad thing, chandelier.
Chandelier.
Yeah.
No, Tammy, don't leave, please. We'll stop with the.
As
This
well as
sort of
author, there were judges, singers, and at least one doorman. I need to change my script. There's a problem here.
Oh, I'm sorry. This has now kind of gone into because I've just realized something. I miss the good old days where Bond women were named very inappropriately.
Oh, yeah.
Agent Triple X. That was
Agent
one of my
Triple X,
favorites.
yeah.
That was actually probably the best one. Octopussy.
Octopussy, of course.
What was the name of the woman from GoldenEye, the Russian woman?
I don't remember. I remember Christmas Jones.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I've heard them all. The Mexican state of Sonora said it was forced to publish a list of banned names, including Facebook, Burger King, Hitler, and Robocop, following a trend of silly names that could lead to bullying at school. I don't think so.
Yeah.
If your name is Facebook in school, you're the coolest kid around. What up, Facebook Hernandez?
Sorry, I've gone through looking up a lot of the old names. Just let me look up some of them. There was Pussy Galore.
Yeah, classic.
Honey Rider.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Merry Goodnight.
Course.
Holly Goodhead.
Wasn't there like a formula to this whole thing where it's like the first name is what you called your genitals when you were younger, and the last name is like your grandmother's maiden name? something
If
like
that's the
that.
case, then your grandmother's maiden name was Goodhead or Goodnight.
I mean, not not a bad name.
Domino, Kissy, Zuki,
Zuki, of course.
Tiffany Case, Solitaire, Melina Havelock, Octopussy, Stacy Sutton, Cara Milorvi, Milovi? Milivory, whatever. Pam Bouvier.
I kind of want to call my son RoboCop. I think that would be funny.
Oh, and of course the classic Miss Moneypenny,
Oh, of course, Miss Moneypenny.
the OG. Oh, Tammy, no, don't cry. We care.
We care. It's just that we know better. We see through the stream of tears into the
We
very
see your
core of your
lies.
being. Excuse me.
I worry for your children. I do too, Tammy.
Nobody worries.
I do.
Nobody needs to worry for any children. Listen. The ideas that we had tonight, not bad, at all.
No.
I think they're
Wait,
good.
I've just seen the guaranteed first name of my child in your picture. In your feed. Dear feed.
What?
Monopoly. Monopoly Paris Riley.
Okay, sure. Tell me what kind of life do you predict for Monopoly Beresford Wiley?
Oh,
What kind of life will he lead?
he'll own all the real estate. He'll go to jail then. He'll
Yeah,
get out of free.
yeah.
He'll get some free parking at some point,
Some
probably
free
down
park,
in
yeah, of
the.
course, free parking, super tax, obviously. You know, that's something he'll end up inventing.
Oh God.
In fact, his nickname might just very well be Super Tax.
Uh, this is now kind of remind me of that episode of Friends where it's like they're talking about naming Phoebe's. When Phoebe is getting to name one of the kids, and they're talking about if you want a really cool name, what about the Hulk? He's like, I don't like the name Hulk, but I do like the idea of one of of the child's name starting with the.
Yeah, the
But the
mono.
something.
Yeah, the something.
His name will be Mono. Mono Beresford Wiley. Hey, Mono. Is Mono short for anything? Monopoly. I'm kidding.
Mono. Is that short for something? Monopoly. Well, which one is it?
He's either Polly wants a crack or just Mono.
Well, to be fair, I did see earlier that like apparently there was someone who called, apparently a famous person as well, who was in A Knight's Tale, who called their son Audio Science. Because they wanted the word, not name, right? So they looked through the dictionary, her and her boyfriend at that point, and they found that they found science, which they liked, but they were worried that science would be shortened to Sci, which might be short for Simon. So they were like, no, it's gonna be like, it's gonna be clearly a word. So audio science, yeah, he's going to work in a Sainsbury's. Yeah.
Oh. I'm shaking my head at the people naming their kids this, but then I've spent this entire time coming up with really stupid names for my kids.
No, I'm sticking with Jesus. I still think it's a great idea.
Tammy, just quickly before we wrap up, what would you give me if I did name my first child Bubbles?
Other than the handshake.
Oh no! If I am cursing my child to the name Bubbles forever, it's got to be worth something.
I know what I'd give you.
Done. No shame. Wait, before I fully agree to it and write down a contract, handshake, and everything. 10K what? I can wait before we wrap up. I can wait 10.
Sure. Yeah.
I know you're.
This is the worst episode. I'm calling it
But
now.
that's
There's
the
not going to
best.
be an episode worse than this.
I swear to gosh, you just give me 10 letter K because I'm gonna be furious. And I'll blame her for my child as well. It's like, Dad, why did you call me Bubbles? Because a friend lied to me. And the thing is, you're not the boy's mother. Who's he gonna believe? Me, his dad, or some random stranger called Tammy, who
I
I
will.
will tell him was who I will tell him is Tammy 3 from Parks and Rec and Ron.
Okay. Okay. I will say the appeal to call my son Mark is very large.
Yeah, I am kind of tempted to name one of my kids after a D&D character of mine.
No, literally, so that every time I see him, I can just go, "Oh, hi, Mark,"
Oh no!
and then he'll
Wow.
never understand what it is until he gets like to the age of 16. And they'll go like, "I think you're old enough."
And you show him the origin
Yeah,
of
the
his
origin,
fucking name, and
and
he'll
literally
just
just go
turn to
like,
you and go,
"Okay, well, you know when this guy fucks this woman, like when they do that for the second time, call me. I'll be out for like half an hour."
"Oh God." Oh, well, I think we should wrap things up here. Good
Yeah.
discussion.
Yep.
If any
Again,
women ever do eventually watch this, they know not to marry us because of what we're going to be calling our children and for what reasons.
I mean, there's plenty of other reason not to marry us, but happy Valentine's Day on Sunday.
Uh,
Yeah, enjoy that.
Spending it alone in lockdown, as we all are. It's
Well, I'm forced into isolation for that day as well, so
yeah,
thanks world, and thanks for our guest for not being here today. So we've become utterly confused as to what topic we should be discussing. But uh, obviously we're glad to have this guest back. This guest who was offended us greatly by saying that Batman is a better superhero than Superman, and then you know,
blasphemous.
well, more than anything, he can probably explain it better. But his argument is, yes, in a scenario where none of them have superpowers or gadgets or anything like that, it's like, well, that's not fair, is it? I mean, Tammy, you're welcome to come, right? It's your choice not to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not me.
and
But
and let's be honest, you being here you being here might just up the quality a little bit.
yeah,
So, when you're just watching this or listening this on Spotify, which will eventually happen, because I'm working on something.
like
Um, it'd be very confusing to listen to us essentially argue with the comments. You can't find the Discord chat because we haven't invited you into it. All we have to do is invite you. So just say, "Hey, put me in there," and we'll put you in there.
yeah. But anyway, yeah. So going on to Spotify soon. Sure, will be
Eventually,
good.
yes. Not anytime soon, because I have ideas that we'll discuss now off camera. But yeah, until then, thank you very much for watching.